All right, what is going on? Um, this is R2 Sports Talk Live, and as I've done for most of the solo podcasts and live streams, I'm going to start off by saying that yes, Connor is not here again. Um, we pushed it until Tuesday, and then uh, because Connor's on vacation and uh he told me Tuesday would be the best day, and then I never heard from him yesterday morning, and then I texted him later at night, uh, about asking about 9 or 9:30 Eastern Time, and I never heard a word from him. So I would have done this Monday during Monday Night Football. I would have done this last night had I had a little bit more heads up warning that he couldn't do it. So, nonetheless, here we are Wednesday morning. It's 9:24. I'm going to make this quick because in about an hour and 10 minutes I need to be at my daughter's school for a little field trip, and I offered to volunteer. So, this is going to be real quick live. Um really shaky getting off the ground for sure. Um as far as consistency, yes, we've been consistent with a live and a recorded podcast every week, but I'm talking about schedule wise. Now, I'm going to show the camera something. This is from Connor himself. And this is also why I wanted, like, again, a co host. I understand life happens. He's got 3 kids. I've got a kid. Again, not to get too personal, but, next month I go to mediation for hopefully more time with my daughter. November, it will then be signed off by the judge, um, hopefully increasing the timeshare. So that might throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into my plans as well. But again, if you want to get it off the ground, if you want to succeed, you got to put in the effort, you got to put in the work, just like anything in life. So, this is a text from Connor that I got at 2:02 yesterday my time in the afternoon, so 5:02 Eastern time. But I want y'all to look right here that y'all can read. Actually, I'm gonna come this way. Y'all can read most of our conversation, but if I can't make it, this will be the last live you'll do by yourself, I promise. So, with that being said, I expect Connor to be here for, I'm not going to say every single live because, again, if we do this for 1 year or it finally starts taking off and we do it for 10 years, he's going to miss lives. But, as far as getting off the ground, again, I've done some research into different platforms, or not platforms, sorry, different websites, I should say, um, that will allow Connor and I to be split screen live on the same screen so you can see both of our reactions. Um, and on top of that, we can live stream to 3 different platforms. So it may not just be YouTube, but you'll be able to catch us on like Facebook Live, and you'll be able to catch us on like Instagram Live or something like that. Um, so yeah, I've done some research into that. So, anyways, we're gonna see if he holds true to his word. Nonetheless, week 1 recap. Whenever he gets around to it, I did beat Connor on week 1 bets for what it's worth. Uh, I had 8 correct. Connor had 6 correct. So again, just stupid. What up, B? or Brandon, I should say. I know you don't like that. Uh, so I need to think of something just stupid, funny, just ridiculous, off the wall punishment for Connor because I did beat him 8-6. So and I have no idea what he would have in store for me. Um but I know he did mention if he does beat me at some point during the season on the weekly bets that he was going to have Reagan pie me in the face, which I know Reagan would love. So, um, maybe, well, Connor's on vacation, I think, until Sunday. So I don't know if he's even going to join me on the podcast later this week. I'll talk with him after, but stay tuned for his little week one punishment from me. And again, we got to do this for what, 16, 17 more weeks. So, yeah, nonetheless, off to a good start. All 16 games last week, obviously, with 32 teams playing, and I hit half of them. Went 8-8, not too bad. He went 6-10. Yeah, 6-10. So hopefully, we'll continue that this weekend, and I won't have to do a punishment after week 2. With that being said, solid fantasy week for me. I will say real quick that I have. Going back to my stats here, my phone that I keep. Hold on one second. Okay, so I have 11 head-to-head leagues this year that I do. I went 6-5 in those 11 leagues. Pretty promising. One of the leagues, actually, Mike and I's team. We barely lost. We lost by 1.25, and we had Dallas Goddard and T. Higgins in our lineup with zeros. So shout out to those guys for putting up goose eggs. Appreciate it. If either one of them catch one pass for 3 yards, we win. So yeah, that's great. That's how close we lost by. Um, and then I'm doing 5 best ball leagues this year, including a Terminator tourney. Yeah, right. Rest in peace to Aaron Rodgers. 4 plays in, huh? Torn or ruptured Achilles. But to touch on that, 5 best ball leagues I'm doing this year. 4 are inside the top 4 after week 1, and one of them is in last place. The one in last place drafted Garrett Wilson in the second round. So yeah, that one's gonna feel the effects of Aaron Rodgers going down a little bit. Um, Bright side, I guess, is um, outside of one dynasty team. So I just said that I got, you know, 11 head to heads, 5 best balls. That's 16 teams total. I did 15 redrafts this year, and then one dynasty draft. So out of all those drafts, I have to say though, I only drafted Aaron Rodgers on one team. The Jets offense just didn't excite me at all. I have no shares of Dalvin Cook. I have no shares of Brees Hall. Um, and then let's see, where's my wide receiver list? Garrett Garrett Wilson, I actually only have on one team. And I don't think I have I have Tyler Conklin on one team. So for the most part, I stayed away from the Jets offense in all of fantasy this year. Now I will say I have 4 shares of the Jets defense. But again, Robert Saleh being defensive minded, Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, all had to go with those playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm gonna say this. I know I put out a lot of sleepers every year. I do not expect to hit on all of those seasonal sleepers, but for some odd reason, more so of that, I tend to have a knack for staying away from offenses that get hurt every year in fantasy. I don't like, for example, the Jets. And the Jets are not going to be the same team with Zach Wilson at quarterback. Again, as I say, yes, Zach Wilson has experience. He's on an NFL team, so he's good enough. But there's a reason why they went out and traded for Aaron Rodgers. There's a reason why this man was the backup. We've seen him play in the past. We've seen him play in Robert Sala's, uh, you know, coaching schemes. It's not going to be that great. It's just not. So I do agree with you. New year, he is offensive rookie of the year. Could still work. Sure. Am I gonna hold my breath and hang on to the positivity? It's real slim. It's like this much. This much. Exactly. He got benched from Mike White. That's what I'm saying. See, exactly. Thank you. That is what I'm saying. Like there's a reason why he's the backup. So yes, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Conklin. I'm not holding my breath on these guys. I'm not. Their production is just gonna it's gonna poo poo the bed more or less. Okay, it's just gonna So I don't know. I know Twan's not in here right now because I had texted him before I went live, but obviously we know from in here before. Twan's a Jets fan. In the big group chat, we were all giving him crap because Aaron Rodgers is down, and it's not gonna be the same team. I don't even know how they pulled it out against Buffalo. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't know what the hell that was. Bills defense got some work, but I'm telling you now, I think I've already talked to you about this, Brandon. Stephon Diggs does not want to be in Buffalo. Stephen A. Smith, before the season, did not come out on Twitter and say, I have inside sources that say Stephon Diggs does not want to be there. Right? Stephen A. Smith already has the credibility. He already has all the following, right? He doesn't need to come out and say some stupid crap like that about Stephon Diggs. He knows something. And Stephon Diggs took to Twitter and said, "Oh, I don't know what this is, but this isn't true." Because you know why? Stephon Diggs don't want the drama surrounding himself and the team. That's why. But I agree with Stephon Diggs. The Bills' window has already come and it's closing. It's closing now. And I think that irritates Stephon Diggs. I really do. I really do. And I didn't draft, again, keep in mind, 15 redraft teams. I did not draft Stephon Diggs anywhere. I have 0 shares of Josh Allen. The only one from that offense I have, believe it or not, is James Cook, 4 shares. Because who's going to threaten his time? Damian Harris? Come on now. No. But then again, you got to be ahead to run the ball and stuff like that. So I don't know. But yes, Josh Allen, I think now is trending downward, Brandon. I do think I wouldn't say he's terrible. He's been number 2, no, top 2, top 3 fantasy quarterback like the last 3 years. He's not terrible, but he is going to start his downfall this year. And that's why I didn't draft him anywhere. So um a couple of injuries to monitor throughout the rest of the week. Number 1 is Austin Eckler. It's looking very iffy if he's going to play. Uh, it doesn't look like Kenneth Gainwell is going to play tomorrow night, which really sucks because he was one of my sleepers. But I'm almost certain. Yeah, well, going back to Josh Allen. Yeah, he's got a lot of turnovers, and like you said, the last 19 games, I started seeing it a little bit last year. I did have him on some fantasy teams last year, and somehow, some way, he still finished top 2, top 3 in quarterback scoring. I'm gonna go look right now, real quick, actually. And this is just with FFPC scoring. Um, so leagues might be different, or maybe I won't check because we can't load this league for some reason. Hmm. Come on now. And then I'll get back to Kenneth Gainwell in just 1 second. But I'm pretty sure Allen was up there with all those turnovers last year. 2022 season, maybe, maybe not, maybe, maybe. There we go. Wait, is this quarterback? Quarterback. 2022 season. Fantasy points. I was like, wait, what? I didn't click all though. Haha, I only had free agents. All right. Josh Allen was number 2 fantasy scoring quarterback last year, even with 13 interceptions. So, for what it's worth, Brandon, this is an FFPC. Finished number 2 quarterback by about 20-ish points, give or take. So that's why I said, like, he's been up there. 2021, he finished as the highest scoring quarterback. And then in the 2020 season, he was the highest scoring quarterback. So that's why I said, of the last 3 years, he's been in the top 2, but I just think he severely downfalls and slides this year. Even with all those turnovers, he was still number 2 quarterback. So I don't know. He can do those turnovers for another team in fantasy, not mine this year. But going back to Kenneth Gainwell, he's dealing with a rib injury, so it doesn't look like he's going to play. Obviously, today is going to be more of the telling sign, but he did not practice on Monday or Tuesday. And I'd have to check draft boards again, but I'm almost certain that Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift were being drafted ahead of Kenneth Gainwell. Now, Eagles got a good offense. They know how to be. They know how to be in the right position to be leading late in games. I was all over Devonta Smith this year, 3rd-year wide receiver. Love him. As a matter of fact, I have 7 shares of Devonta Smith. 7. That's almost half of the 15 drafts. I don't have Jalen Hurts anywhere. I did not draft Rashad Penny, as I've already covered why. I did not draft DeAndre Swift anywhere, as we've already covered why. However, I have 8 shares of Kenneth Gainwell, at least from what I drafted. 8 times I drafted Kenneth Gainwell on 15 of my teams. So that was my sleeper in the Eagles backfield, and he comes out in week 1. First off, Rashad Penny was a healthy scratch. Number 2, I read a stat somewhere where like Gainwell had like, I think it was like 59% snap share to where Swift only had like 41 or something like that. It was pretty decently lopsided. So if Gainwell's out tomorrow, that definitely is going to hurt me. But like I said, it's not looking good. Whenever I get breaking news, I do break it to my TikTok, and try to put a fantasy perspective on it, I should say. So with that being said, I did break the Austin Eckler news on Monday, and oh boy, that one really blew up. Let me tell you, last I saw it had about 11.1 thousand views, so pretty solid. So I will say, sorry, the group chat is blowing up over here. Want to make sure I wasn't missing nothing. I will say the number 1 guy that would be in my temper your expectations category this week, and we're not even to the recorded podcast that covers all of Sunday and Monday night's games, but no doubt an early candidate, or I shouldn't even say a candidate, one that's already in that group plays tomorrow night, and that is Justin Jefferson. Now, look, I know it's JJ, best receiver in the league. Great. Obviously, you start him. Obviously. Duh. But being on the road in Philadelphia, it's not going to be easy. So if JJ only puts up, if he don't have a game like he did against the Bucks, just I'm telling you now, just expect it. And you know, I got him on a couple teams, so I'm ready for it. Like, let's go. I don't know if it's going to be that great of a game or not. I only got 3 shares of them. Um, However, the positive of this is first off, this was an interesting stat to me the other day too. Now, y'all know that I play on FFPC, where it's 1.5 points per catch for tight ends. I did have the Bucks and Vikings game on, because I do like, split screen like 4 different games on at one time. But I left the audio on the Panthers game majority of the day. But I did notice TJ Hawkinson catching quite a few passes. So at the end of the game, I go down to the box score and I see that he had 8 catches, and I'm like, oh, that's solid. Okay, 8 receptions, 1.5 points. Yo, we're off to a good start. Who? What? How in the holy hell do you catch 8 balls for only 35 yards? What? What? That is like 5 yards a catch. That is terrible for 8 receptions. Terrible. So the point I'm getting at is it looks like Hawkinson is going to be targeted often, which is great because he was not necessarily my sleeper tight end, but he was a tight end that I was targeting that I think could finish tight end 1 this year because I don't think Travis Kelce does it. And to back that up, I actually drafted Hawkinson 7 times throughout all my teams this season. So Hawkinson targeted a lot last week. I'm gonna need the yardage to go up though a little bit. I'm gonna need a touchdown. And I say this because Hunter Henry was actually it was a weird week for tight ends last week. Um, yeah, very very weird week. Hunter Henry actually was the highest scoring tight end on FFPC. And who'd that come against? The Eagles. So I'm hoping Hawkinson can have similar success tomorrow night. Um, Brandon, I am looking right now to actually double check that, but I'm pretty sure you're correct. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, last year against Philadelphia. Yep, in week 2. Um, wait, what? This thing says yeah. Sorry. I was reading it all wrong. Holy cow. Had a moment there. My apologies. Last year in week 2, actually, again, Justin Jefferson, 12 targets, only 6 catches for 48 yards. So again, I say if you have JJ, temper your expectations for sure. Don't expect a lot from this guy come tomorrow night. Instead, well, yeah, Patriots do got Bill O'Brien, which loves to involve the tight end. But I mean, like I said, Hawkinson had the targets. He had the receptions even. I mean, again, if you look at a box score for tight end, wide receiver, running back, it don't matter. Okay, it don't matter. If you look and see that MFer, okay, had 8 catches, you're like right off the bat, that's fucking solid. Okay. That's solid. That's solid. Dude probably had about 56 yards receiving minimum. And this man got 35. What? But you know why? It's because Justin Jefferson and Addison and Osborne even probably are all going deep. We don't need Hawkinson running deep, apparently, because the wide receivers are taking care of it. So who's underneath and open? Hawkinson. So if Bill O'Brien can do it, um, I know Kevin O'Connell can do it with with Hawkinson. So, I just I'm hoping for it. But I'm just telling you now, don't expect big things from JJ. If you play daily fantasy, Brandon, or if you're going to do daily fantasy, don't take JJ. And actually, as a matter of fact, I just got into prize picks. I'm going to go see what the under over is for JJ receiving yards tomorrow night. If this phone ever decides to load. Man, I'm telling you, AT&T is the absolute just trashiest of trash cans out here, boy. AT&T service is so bad out here in California. Man. Well, we'll wait for that to load. Um Other than that, I'm going to get with Connor. Oh, hey, here we go finally. Receiving yards. Ooh. Damn. They got Justin Jefferson's yardage at 94 and a half. Oh, that's big time under. That is big time under. Damn, 94 and a half. Woo! Side note to this real fast too. Kirk Cousins, for whatever reason, just does not do that well on primetime games either. So yeah, might have to go the under on Justin Jefferson. Hawkinson's at 48 and a half. I might have to go over for that one. Woo, man. I know it's Justin Jefferson, but boy, they set that high. Holy cow, 94 and a half. Jesus. Anyways, as I was going to say, I'm going to talk to Connor. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to do the podcast this week because he's still at Disney, taking that week-long vacation and stuff. But I will still have his bets. I'll tell him to just go through at some point and send me his bets, and I will cover that in the recorded one. I will do that and get it up Friday night for sure. But I need to actually get going because I need to go eat some breakfast real fast and then get over to Reagan's school so I can help with her field trip. But I just briefly wanted to touch on some of the week one injuries and some of the stats. Go over the temper your expectations because Justin Jefferson, like I said, is the leading is the leader of that clubhouse this week for sure. And just touch on the fantasy and the bets and kind of call out Connor again, as it seems to be a trend of every live stream that he's not on. But if you missed the beginning of it, since I don't even really text people or put it out that I/we, but it's more I that we're going live, I should say. I'm going to show this to the camera one last time, and we're going to end with this. I want y'all to look right here at this one right here. If I can't make it, this will be the last live you do by yourself, I promise. So I blasted him in the beginning of this pod or in this live, and I'm going to blast him at the end. We'll see if he sticks true to his word. Vikings at the Eagles tomorrow night. The recorded one will be up Friday evening, and hopefully Connor will be a part of it, but don't hold your breath. Until then, R2 Sports Talk. Y'all have a good rest of the week, and I'm out.